It's Runtime. So here's everything that happened in Indian tech in the last 24 hours. And starting things off here, Niladri Hazra, who is a West Bengal-based software engineer, built a clone of Dhruv Rathi's AI Fiesta called Open Fiesta. It largely works on OpenRouter, which offers model inference and has a free tier for experimenting with AI models. And you can actually go check this out on GitHub, but Niladri also launched a website where you can use Open Fiesta for free. And I actually tried this out for myself. So here's my experience. So I've got my prompt loaded up here. What are your thoughts on Dhruv Rathi's platform, AI Fiesta? Do research before answering. I'm not sure if these models are actually going to be able to do research, but let's just give them the prompt and see what happens. So we've got Gemini 2.5 Flash here. We've got DeepSeek R1, Llama 3.3 70B Instruct, Kimi K2, and also OpenAI's open source model as well. And okay, we're already starting to get some answers back here. And it looks like all of these answers are hallucinated, so none of the models were actually able to find out what AI Fiesta actually is, which is a little bit disappointing to see, but this is also something that was created in probably less than 24 hours. You can also see the models here that are available, and it actually shows which ones are free, which ones are pro, and which ones are both. So most of them are both. You do have Gemini 2.5 Pro, which is exclusively paid, and I think you just have to plug in your API key, and then you'd be charged based on your usage, and that payment would go directly to Google. Now, the drama with AI Fiesta is actually spilled out now beyond the Indian tech ecosystem. Theo himself posted on X saying AI Fiesta brags about being built by Y Combinator alumni on their homepage. T3 Chat is actually backed by Y Combinator, yet we don't mention it on our homepage. And he also said it must be nice exclusively building for people who don't know what tokens are, which is referring to the fact that AI Fiesta has a monthly token limit of 400,000 tokens per month for the 999 rupee plan. And for context, in the OpenAI API, GPT-5 has an output limit of 128,000 tokens. So if you maxed out the output, and by the way, GPT-5 is available in AI Fiesta, if you max that out with Dhruv's 999 rupee plan, you would end up getting less than 4 responses before hitting your monthly cap, which is shockingly bad mileage. And I think the implication here, what Theo is kind of saying indirectly, is that the people that Dhruv Rathi is going after, his target customer, is largely people who don't know what 400,000 tokens actually gets you, right? They don't realize that they're going to end up blowing through that in a matter of days, probably, especially if they're doing ambitious things with AI Fiesta. And so that's kind of what he's implying. Now, another Fiesta-related update here is that someone actually made a Chrome extension that removes chat limits on AI Fiesta by blocking message count tracking requests. And then one little final thing that I'll leave you all with here is that there's this comment on Dhruv's video. Now we can proudly say USA, ChatGPT, China, DeepSeek, and India AI Fiesta. Kind of depressing, but also hilarious. Now, I actually have another YouTuber turned AI builder news update here. Mohak Mangal shared that his project, Pravāh, came in second place in OpenAI's recent GPT-5 hackathon. So Pravāh has developed an AI-native decision-making engine for the electric grid. Basically, the problem that Pravāh is solving here is that the electrical grid around the world really is facing immense pressure due to climate change, renewable energy, and scale. What's more, most of this infrastructure was built over a century ago. It's really old, and so Pravāh wants to build a real-time decision intelligence system for utilities and grid operators. You can kind of think of it like Google Maps, but for electricity, giving operators visibility into the grid's current state, and also AI-powered insights into how it will evolve in the future. And Mohak believes that this opportunity is worth hundreds of millions of dollars, which is why they're hiring rapidly right now. They're looking for a founding machine learning engineer and a founding engineer. And it's also worth noting that Pravāh has signed pilots in 3 countries, and they've also raised $1 million from Pear VC and Conviction, and they're gearing up for their seed round as well. So if you want to learn more about Pravāh, you can check them out at pravāh.notion.site.
All right, next up, OpenAI has launched an India-specific plan called ChatGPT Go, which costs 399 rupees per month, compared to ChatGPT Plus, which costs 1,999 rupees per month. So this is a 5x cost reduction, and for a lot of people, a lot of casual ChatGPT users, this is going to be way more than enough. So what do you actually end up getting for 399 rupees? Well, currently on the free tier of ChatGPT, you can send 10 messages every 5 hours. But with ChatGPT Go, on the other hand, you can send 100 messages every 5 hours. But how does that compare to ChatGPT Plus? Well, the limit window is a little bit shorter with Plus, so every 3 hours you get to send 160 messages before GPT-5 switches over to GPT-5 Mini. And I know that this isn't quite how it works, but if you break these down into hourly rate limits, you get 2 messages an hour with free, 20 messages an hour with Go, and 53.33 messages with Plus. Okay, but what about memory? Well, with the free tier of ChatGPT, you get a 16,000 token context window, and OpenAI has said that ChatGPT Go offers double the memory of the free tier, so that ends up being about 32,000 tokens of context, which is actually the same as ChatGPT Plus. Now, apart from this, they're also saying that ChatGPT Go offers 10 times more image generation and 10 times more file uploads as compared to the free tier of ChatGPT. Now, this is actually the first time that OpenAI has ever introduced country-specific pricing, and I have to imagine that a big part of this is them just trying to remain competitive in India. Perplexity Pro is now free for Airtel customers, Gemini is free for students, so OpenAI has realized that they can't expect to continue growing in India if they're charging 1,999 rupees. They're also making ChatGPT more accessible to Indians by allowing UPI payments now. Now, for those of you who are paying right now for ChatGPT Plus, it is worth highlighting what you're going to lose access to with ChatGPT Go. So first of all, if you use connectors, which gives ChatGPT access to your Gmail, your Google Drive, your Google Calendar, your GitHub, your Notion, you won't have access to that anymore. You also won't have access to Sora. And also, if for some reason you're still using ChatGPT 4.0 instead of ChatGPT 5, you'll lose access to that too. And then one final note here is that if you check out OpenAI's help page for the Go subscription tier, they do mention that this subscription is initially available in India only. Other countries and regions may be eligible in the future. And then further down, it also says access to subscribe to Go is gradually being made available to all users. So in a way, they're kind of testing this tier out in India. Basically, India is the guinea pig here. And then if things go well, they might make this globally available someday. All right, next up in the news, IIT Madras has signed a deal worth 1 crore rupees to license India's first silicon photonics-based quantum random number generator. This generator was developed indigenously at IIT Madras, and the deal here was signed with Indrarka Quantum Technologies Private Limited. So Indrarka is going to be commercially deploying this silicon photonic QRNG. Now, the numbers generated by this generator are truly random, unlike the random numbers generated by normal computers, which are quite predictable and are also pseudo-random. According to the IIT Madras press release here, potential applications here include IT security for military and defense, cryptographic algorithms, quantum key distribution, scientific modeling and simulations, financial transactions, blockchain, OTP generation, and gaming too. Now, just a couple of quick updates before we wrap up. First of all, Foxconn has started manufacturing iPhone 17s in both Bengaluru and Chennai. Apple is also planning on opening new Apple stores in Mumbai, Pune, Noida, and Bengaluru before the end of 2025. All right, next, Perplexity's finance dashboard for India now supports live earnings call transcripts, as well as earnings call schedules for Indian stocks. After that, Composio is hosting an AI agents hackathon in Bengaluru, sponsored by Composio and Code Rabbit, with cash and credit prizes worth 50,000 rupees. And this is going to be starting on Wednesday, tomorrow at 9 a.m. And you can participate solo or with a team of up to 4 people. And then finally, the AltSpace AI Residency is going to be hosting their Demo Day Investor Showcase on Friday, the 22nd of August. This AI Residency was a 9-week, fully funded program where builders from across India prototyped AI apps, agents, and infrastructure projects. Now, this program took place at AltSpace's campus in the Himalayas, so investors can technically attend in person, but most of them are probably going to be tuning in remotely via a Google Meet. And it is worth noting this is an invite-only event, so if you want to attend, you do need to be an angel investor, a VC, an accelerator, ecosystem partner, or talent scout. And I'll try to cover this more in future videos because there are 15 builders here who are going to be showing off what they've been building over this 9-week-long program. And some of these projects are actually very cool. All right, those are all of the Indian tech updates that I have for you all today, but do tune in tomorrow on Wednesday for a fresh batch of updates on everything that happened in Indian tech over the last 24 hours. I'm Caleb Friesen, and I'll catch you in the next one.